Call this April 23rd, 2019 Jackson County Commission meeting to order. Roll call, Mr. Manning.
Mr. Rich?
Present.
Mr. Benjamin?
Present.
Ms. Gilbert?
Present.
Mr. Sis? Chairman present.
We have a prayer by Mr. Porter and a pledge by Mr. Rich.
God our Father, we're blessed. We're so thankful for you. We thank you for the redemption story. We thank you for each and every person that is here and all those that are serving in whatever manner in public life that will serve the public, because we know that we're all servants. So God, we pray that you watch over us and guide us every day. Continue to be with us in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we need to approve the agenda.
I make a motion, we approve the agenda.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Next will be comments from citizens.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, citizens, I want to talk to you just a moment. I realize that you have not appointed this Historical Documents Board as of yet. I have some concerns about the board, as I expressed concerns previously regarding display of 10 Commandments on government property. I realize that, as I said, you haven't appointed the board yet, and as I understand it, it'd be up to them to decide which historical documents. I want to remind the commissioners that there is historical documents here in the courthouse posted outside of courtroom 1. That is the original articles of the Constitution. Judge Campbell had donated that display to the courthouse, and I was under the impression that there was more that was down there, but it wasn't there. I don't know if it's taken down. You can see there was some stuff on the wall. I don't know if it's taken down for painting or what it was. But I could recall, I think the Declaration of Independence was also there. But anyway, I just want to caution the commissioners, regardless of what the documents are or what the statuary may be, if it does include the 10 Commandments, I would advise you to use caution. As you know, the commission was served with a cease and desist letter back, I believe it's September of 2014, from the Freedom from Religion Foundation. Doesn't mean I support Freedom from Religion Foundation. I'm an old Southern Baptist. I'm a hellfire and brimstone guy, you know. But with the budget of the commission, when you enter into a federal court case, you're rolling the dice, and you really don't know how it's going to go. There are limitations and restrictions on what the displays can be. And one of those things I would ask you to consider, based on Amendment 622 of the Alabama Constitution, it was just passed not too long ago, ask yourselves, is this going to serve a public purpose? Is it going to serve a compelling government interest? And that's specified in there. It must be a compelling government interest. And in reading this Amendment 622, it doesn't take anything away from Section 3 of the religious part of the, or excuse me, Section 2 of, Section 3 of the State of Alabama Constitution. And in that, it states that there will be no religious sect or society or denomination that will be indicated by law or by administrative decree by a government entity. So I'm bringing this forward to you. I'm asking you primarily because of the financial situation of the county. I just think you're rolling dice here. And do you really want to go there? So thank you for the time. Any questions? Here I am.
Anybody have any questions? Mr. Board?
Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to old business. We got a motion need a motion to approve the minutes from the following previous meetings and work sessions, March 4th, 11th, and 18th.
I'll make that motion, combine them together.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. On to new business, motion to approve the correction to the land redemption fund, refunding landowner for the sale of his land due to section line being incorrectly placed.
I make a motion, move forward with that.
I second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Number two would be a motion to create a historical documents board.
I make that motion.
I'll second
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Next would be a motion to appoint 8 members to the historical documents board. Those were going over in the work session last week. You got your folder today.
Yeah, I got a couple of questions, if we
Okay.
have time for a little discussion on
Yeah.
it. The 8 members, they're an advisory board, correct?
Yes.
They will make a recommendation to the commission to either approve or deny the recommendation, and then they will be responsible for raising the money
Yes, sir.
after the recommendation. Okay, I
Yes,
just
sir.
wanted to make clear. Right, I'll make a motion to move forward with the 8 names that are on the list.
I second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Next, the motion to accept hiring committee's recommendation of Amber Hammondtree for the vacant full-time revenue tech 1 position with revenue commission being grade 4.
I'll make the motion to let us have a tree.
Got a motion
I'll second.
and a second. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed? Number 5, a motion to accept hiring committee's recommendation of Dylan Summerford for the vacant full-time HMT 1 position, grade 4, for the Public Works Department.
I'll make that recommendation.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Number 6, be a motion to accept hiring committee's recommendation of Jacob Lee for the vacant full-time HMT 1 position, grade 4, for the Public Works Department.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Motion to accept hiring committee's recommendation of Gavin Arnold for the vacant full-time HMT 1 position, grade 4, for the Public Works Department.
I'll make that motion.
I second
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Motion to accept hiring committee's recommendation of Jake Slayton for the vacant temporary labor position at Jackson County Public Works Department.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. That concludes all our new business. Next, we'll move on to reports from staff. Mr. Manning,
Nothing, thank you.
Mr. Campbell.
Thank you, Chairman. Commissioners, as you all have heard by now, I'm sure there was a FEMA declaration that included Jackson County. So we will be covered in the President's declaration for emergency relief. That's good news. That allows us to take the steps now that we're taking on 17 and get to work on some proposals to put before you on how to proceed.
Did they ever come up with a matching ratio?
As far as the state part,
Well, both.
yeah, that part we'll probably most likely won't learn until we have the applicant's briefing or kickoff
Okay.
meeting. Typically, as I mentioned, it's an 80-20 split, but the 75-25 split rather, but the state typically kicks in 12.5%. So that leaves us with a remainder, with it only being 12.5. So I'm assuming this will go that way, but until we have those, FEMA folks back with us and on the ground, now that there's been a declaration, we won't know until then.
I didn't get a chance to read everything, but was there a cap for the amount that goes to the state of Alabama, or was it, did I hear that somewhere?
If there's a cap, I'm unaware of that.
Okay.
Not what I sent out. I didn't see one.
I didn't get a chance to read it all.
Any other questions?
Are we, what's your perspective on this? Are we gonna try to do it in-house, or, what's your thoughts on it now?
I'm still the same. After some of the discussion we've had, just kind of give you a little bit of update. We've had some geotechs. We were soliciting proposals with repair contractors for 17 because that was funded a different way, as you recall. So in their discussion and looking at it and readying a proposal for us, there was a lot of uncertainty there about the repair without some subsurface knowledge. So they were interested in some seismic refractive work, which basically the way I picture it is kind of like an MRI of the ground. So there's a couple of different ways they can accomplish that, and then they can kind of calibrate it by borings and rock corings too. So we had to put those proposals on hold on how they plan to repair it or propose to repair it, and turn to geotechs that could provide this level of subsurface investigation. So that's what we've been working on lately. We're seeing some of those come in now. So what you'll see first is geotech proposals, and making a choice on those to get the information to the repair contractors so that we can see proposals from the repair contractors for 17. So that's kind of a long answer to your question, but hopefully those proposals that the repair contractors will propose will include some work that's us. Most of these folks are specialized, but when it comes to excavation and site access and maybe some drainage structures that need to go into this, that's some portions hopefully that we can handle. So I think that would blend well with that 20% or 12.5% match in this project, that either we're going to have to pay or we're going to have some in-house services that make up that portion. So when we seek reimbursement, that would kind of balance out, if that makes sense. So ideally, I think a lot of those sites will be a hybrid like that. Now, what those geotech investigative reports are going to turn up, I don't know. And even the geotechs that were on site last week, they had quite a bit of uncertainty on, what was there and what was going on. So I think the schools of thought are kind of leaning more toward a sink or some crevice activity in the karst formation that exists there, which would explain why a lot of the slide things that you would typically see don't exist, particularly at the toe and things like that. So there's still just a lot of uncertainty until those reports can be done.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
I talked to a couple different ones today that's approached me since I've been over here in town. They've heard the news about FEMA and money, and
Yeah.
they said, well, what's the starting point? And
Yeah.
I said, well, we don't really know now. There's still some unseen things that they're
Yeah.
getting back with paperwork. So you answered the question. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Anything else? Thank you, Chairman, Commissioner.
Thank you. Mr. Porter?
Mr. Chairman, only just one comment regarding Mr. Morgan's comments and the adoption and appointment of the Historical Documents Board is that that amendment specifically provides that government funds cannot be used to defend or to instigate litigation regarding that. So if that were to happen, then it would not be a cost to the county. The county cannot spend tax dollars on that. So that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Next one, we'll go on to reports from the commission. Mr. Rich?
I'm just glad that we're finally getting to move forward on getting FEMA and get these roads starting to get working on to get those open back up. It's going to be a slow process, I know, but at least we start to chip away at it. That's all I've got to say.
Thank you. Mr. Bennett,
I don't have anything to add to that.
Ms. Gilbert.
Just thanks to Jonathan and his crew for getting quick answers for the government, and maybe we'll see what goes from there. But also what we can do, Jonathan, thank you so much for the quick response on what we still can do with what materials we have. I've had lots of people very happy that you're out fixing potholes.
Okay, thank you for that, appreciate it, I'll pass that on.
Mr. Sis.
As it's just been spoken, thank you again, Jonathan. One thing, I know we all probably got the text, the lady over here at Woodville, County Road 8 had sent a text to each one of us about some garbage that was dumped over there last week, and I rode over there, I guess they done picked it up, because I did not see anybody, and the lady that sent it in, she was at home. I was gonna check it out and see if there was any information there, because we've got so many problems, and Jason spoke up before with this trash bash, and these were new bags, the pictures that she sent, so maybe somebody got their attention, they done went by and picked it up and threw it out, because it was gone. And one thing, Mr. Chairman, I would like to, I know I've talked to you before there, but on this polling, I've still got some questions on it, because, you know, I've changed some of them around over there that we talked about in our area, and I would like to first get it back on the table if we could.
Yeah, like we talked about last week, it's on the work session agenda on our next work session.
Okay. I've had some phone calls, and they want to know, well, what's the plan? Haven't heard anything, and I said, well, we've had so much going on with this road disturbance right now, we've had other things come to board, and it's just kind of been laid on the side, but we'll get back on it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, after last week's meeting, we put it on the work session, next work session, so it will be on our next meeting. I'd like to address just real quickly the historical documents board. One thing about it, I look at it as we're just doing what the people of Jackson County has requested us to do. I did pull the results for the state, and it was about 1.1 million people voted yes on the historical documents, the Ten Commandments, and 433,000 no, which is 72% versus 28%. And I apologize, I didn't get the county numbers, but they're actually higher. I didn't get the exact numbers, but that's the state numbers, and the county is actually higher than that. So, you know, we work for the people of Jackson County, and we're just trying to do what the people of Jackson County, we've got numerous calls on making sure we got that put back on. So, I feel like we're doing what the people of Jackson County wants us to do. So, with that, then a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.